Welcome to Babbling Buffoons. All babbling, all buffoonery. I'm Alex.
I'm Bill.
I'm Jack. Welcome back, guys.
Yes.
Billy, sorry for your knees getting hurt, but it was pretty funny.
Hey, crap happens.
It does. You brought something interesting up, man, the other day, and I figured let's bring you down, get you in another video, and let's talk about it. What is it that you brought up to me?
Space exploration, for starters, how things are looking towards being able to colonize in space.
Yeah, who or what country do you think is going to be able to explore space deep enough to where we get a better understanding?
I know that we in the United States have been doing it for a long time, but I feel like there's certain things about like equipment and other things that we possibly aren't really advanced in that some other countries are probably advanced in before us already. They may already have ideas, expectations on how it should look and how it should go or, be done.
Now, do you believe that we've explored space all the way out to Pluto like they said that we have?
I mean, we have, what is it? We have a satellite that's gone beyond Pluto that sent photos of different things.
Do we
and
believe
stuff.
it?
I mean, it's like any other photo that, we have and whatnot. You have to choose to believe it on your own, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I believe we've been to Mars and back. Not human, but...
Oh, the Land Rover thing with the pictures.
I believe it was there.
I think.
Well, at least I want to believe it's there.
I think we've gone
I would imagine it was.
I think that, what is it? It's not the Hubble telescope I'm thinking of. Is that the name of the satellite that's like traveled beyond? I know there's a certain satellite. I can't think of the name.
I think it just made its way back to Earth. I can't remember what it's called.
This
either.
one is like out there. Like this thing it's not coming back.
When was it launched?
Oh, back in the 70s?
Okay, I don't believe it.
Or 80s?
I don't believe it. Oh, we didn't have the technology back then, I don't believe.
Yeah, we did. We landed on the moon.
Do you believe that?
Yes.
How's that? They've actually come out and said it was a hoax.
When?
How'd you get video from there to Earth for us to watch it live when that technology didn't even exist back then?
It's actually a really good question.
Well, here's the thing, though. That's the government. How do we, as society, might not have had access to that technology? But the thing is,
That's strike two, guys.
the thing
Last time, phone was on.
The thing is, the government, however, could have had access.
Look, Billy's a married man, and he still has his on silent while we do the podcast.
He's smart. Stay it that way. But either way, back to what I was saying.
We're calling him smart.
On that note, silent phone, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
okay, I thought you meant the other route.
No. But as a civilization, as like how we were as a country, we might not have had access to that technology, but you got to think the government always has stuff more advanced than what we are. When stuff is introduced to us, it's from them messing with it and whatnot. So who's to say the government might have had the technology to have sent that broadcast
Let me ask you
down?
this. If that's the case, who was the man that landed on the moon? Stepped foot on the moon.
Wasn't it Neil Armstrong and
Right.
another guy?
Right? Neil Armstrong. He was the first man to step on the moon?
Yeah, that's what they said.
No, he wasn't. Cameraman was outside on the moon taking video of him.
Well, he probably set the camera up himself to then go and do it.
Somebody went out there, right? Before him. Look, I'm just saying, if
Who
we're
knows,
talking about
man?
exploration of space, we have to believe we've been on the moon.
I mean, they say that there's laser reflectors up there that people have used to shoot lasers on and reflect back in.
Supposedly, Elon Musk is trying to go to the moon this year. I think he tried last year and it didn't work.
Thought he's been trying to go to Mars.
Now, he wants to go to the moon, and then he wants to go to Mars. Now, I do know that you're talking, Mars is probably 200 to 300 million miles away. And then that's depending on orbit. Is it closer to us? Probably
Yeah.
500 million miles away?
Oh, I have no clue.
I'm guessing.
That.
Straight educational, just bull crap guess. I'm just saying, if the moon is in between us, it's like 100 million miles away. Mars is out there. So I'm guessing double to maybe 5 times the amount.
Possibly.
Now, do they ever list on what happened with the last time that he was trying to make it to the moon?
I don't think he even made it out of our atmosphere.
So far, I don't know. Like so far of his rockets, I don't know if they've not had enough thrust to him or whatnot to make it and stuff. But have no clue why he hasn't made it yet.
Well, then there must be something that he's.
So, our moon is only 240,000 miles from us. I just seen that pop up.
That's not too far.
No, that's actually pretty close,
Yeah,
honestly.
you can make it there in a day and back.
Well, it depends on the equipment on what he's trying to
Right.
get out there. I mean,
And if we're talking space exploration, you're talking, from what I've seen, they're hoping to make it to Mars by 2030.
Well, the thing is, and the biggest thing is we pretty much have to find a propulsion system that doesn't rely on fuel, that uses some kind of, I would say a thermodynamic energy of like releasing heat and energy to like on a constant thing to be able to use and whatnot that wouldn't like burn off so fast like what our liquid fuel does that we have to use for our rockets and
So
stuff.
if you're looking at all this stuff about energy weapons, and we're going to get off track to get back on track, but if you look at the energy weapons that they're saying the United States has and what they've used, especially down in Venezuela, they have to have some type of propulsion to get us there. And I'm sure they have it. I'm sure they're just trying to figure out how to get us there.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, the types of energy sources that we actually do have and we've come across with, like only just gas or oil, but I mean, if you think about it, plutonium, if that's still a thing, and you also got radiation that could also be converted into energy.
Yeah, uranium.
Or
And I do know that with the war going on over Iran, that they have a large amount enriched uranium hidden. And it wouldn't surprise me if that's why countries will end up either going against them or going with them. Because if they got a lot of enriched or uranium, thank you. Still feeling a little sick from coughing too much, but they got oil too.
Well, like I said, for us, I think to really explore space, we have to find something else besides those because uranium can deplete very quickly depending on how it's used and whatnot, especially, too, if we're trying to use a propulsion system that's going to require a lot of energy. And even though it holds a lot, I guarantee that it would drain it quick. So we'd have to find something else. Or maybe even create something else that could do it because who knows what government scientists are experimenting with? Because they're always messing with different things like that to replace energy because they want, because if we do space exploration, we're going to definitely need some kind of exosuit or mechanical suit for stuff and whatnot. That's going to need some kind of battery that's going to need to fit small but be able to give off massive amounts of energy.
Yeah, and if you do land on planets, gravity. Gravity's not going to be exactly what you.
Yeah, everything's going to be different and whatnot. And plus, you got to think if you land on a planet, like say we do go to Mars, they're not going to have oil. As far as we're aware, there's no dinosaurs that were there that died to turn into oil. And
Again,
stuff
we don't know.
Yeah, like I said, we don't know. Who knows?
The red planet could have been a planet such as ours.
Yeah, it could have been, but we're just saying as we're just pretending and going with that we don't. You're still going to need some kind of energy source to be able to move and do stuff around and whatnot, especially in gravity like that. You're going to need something small but gives off massive amounts.
Right. I'm just saying, in exploration, I don't see us humans exploring past Mars for quite a while. I think Mars is our next stop. And
Mars will probably be, and then we'll try to terraform it. And then if we've proven that we can actually do that, then on top of whatever other advancements are going on, then I think that's when we'll really start to go and explore space, Let
me ask you this, Billy. You looked into a lot of this space exploration and stuff. What if we made a planet and we just cruised through the galaxies like all these sci-fi movies are? Do you think that's possible?
I would imagine so.
How far away do you think we are? 100 years, 1,000 years?
Possibly thousands and thousands of years. I mean...
to create a planet?
Just
to find another planet in general, like another Earth or something.
Yeah, because there's a planet out there. It's a long way, 4 light years, I think they said.
We've already with using the big telescope to check all these other galaxies. There's already been a handful of other planets that supposedly could have the right living conditions on it for water and stuff to maintain life on it and whatnot. But like, we only have a picture of the planet. Like that's like we don't have like.
I think Elon got us that one. I think Elon got that picture.
Well, some of these have come from like that really, really big telescope that we got somewhere that like can like take pictures of like everywhere in the galaxy and whatnot and stuff. So yeah, there's a couple possibilities, but we've only just seen the planet's surface from like a distance in a sense. We don't necessarily know what it's like on the surface because on the outside could look peaceful. But you get close, you could have weather conditions that are 5 times as worse as what we get here. You know, constant storms, you know, or earthquakes, or, you know, maybe there's just not proper oxygen, or there's a different gas formation inside. Like, we have no clue. So a planet could look right, but that doesn't mean it is right.
I do think we explored Venus, if I remember correctly.
And Venus, the gas giant, or is that...
I think it's built gas. I think it has a bunch of gas.
No, I'm thinking of a different planet. I'm thinking of farther out. I'm thinking of Jupiter, whatnot.
Venus is the next one to the sun.
I don't think we've done that. That's too damn close to the sun. The heat shielding and the stuff required to keep that.
I don't know. They said they found life there.
When did this happen?
Organisms in water.
On Venus.
That's what they said.
How long ago was this?
Yeah,
I don't know. I seen some. Like I said, it could be an AI video though too. But I think I've seen something along that. Yeah.
Because with how close that planet is to the sun, there's no way that life should have been able to exist. Because the heat radiation given off of that is just too much for that planet to sustain.
Oh, it's a lot. Because I don't know how close it is to the sun, but
it's the second closest planet to the sun. Because if you follow the order, it goes Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. It's the second. Mercury's right there. Don't know how it ain't been engulfed yet. And then, like I said, you got the next one there. It's close.
Oh, I would definitely say there's nothing alive on Mercury at all.
No.
There's like zero chance that's alive.
I don't even know how. Like I said, how the sun hasn't just finally went. Let me just eat that.
I mean, I can imagine that would actually occur at some point, if not another one of those times that we just had a recent explosion of one of the planets. I think Pluto was one of the ones that exploded recently.
What? There ain't no way Pluto exploded. That would have been all over the news, everywhere, if Pluto exploded. Like, that would have been major news. Like, everyone would have heard about that. Even though Pluto is not considered a planet, it will always be a planet to me.
Yeah, so supposedly Venus became extremely hot about 900 degrees Fahrenheit, 475 degrees Celsius. Yeah, there's no way we could step foot on that planet.
That's what I was saying. There's no way we could step foot on the planet. There's no way that even with what heat-resistant materials and stuff that we got, I don't think our ships could even still get close enough to that planet before it would just burn up. Mm-hmm. That's why I said, like, Earth's in the right comfort zone. Mars is still in the right comfort zone to possibly be able to maintain life. And then they said anything beyond Mars is too far out because you wouldn't get enough of the radiation from the heat radiation from the sun to stay warm to maintain a climate. And then anything before Earth is just too close to the sun and it just bakes the planet and overheats it.
Actually, believe it or not, they're saying Russia had the first spacecraft to land on Venus.
When did this happen?
It was... They don't give a date. But
so I find
Japan...
now them I could believe.
European Space Agency was 2006, 2017. They studied Venus's atmosphere and weather patterns. That's all it says. Mm-hmm. And yeah, Japan's they're currently orbiting Venus, studying the clouds and the storms that's going on.
Now, see, I could believe Japan.
With their technology.
Yeah, with their technology and stuff like that for them, I can definitely believe that. Russia, on the other hand, that, depending on the year, even though it doesn't give it really...
Well, no, the Russians were 1960 to 1980.
1960 to 1980?
Is when they were there studying it. Now, they didn't say they didn't make landfall, they just sent a spacecraft there. But I don't know if I believe Russia, because...
Well, the thing is, if we were racing to get to the moon before Russia and we somehow beat them, then how in the world did they manage to make a craft to orbit?
Exactly.
Orbit that planet.
Brings me back. Did we really get to the moon?
Yeah. So. Yeah.
I don't know. You know how I think. I don't.
Yeah, because between
I don't think
us,
we've been there, but
between us and Russia, we barely had the technology to get a ship out without it possibly overheating, leaving the planet and whatnot. So if you somehow managed to get a pod out between the 60s and 80s to visit a planet that's hotter than going to the moon and hotter than leaving the, trying to leave the atmosphere, but yet you couldn't beat us to the moon, that's a little sus to me. But either way, space exploration.
yeah, Billy, you brought this topic up. If you had the chance to go, and they let you go, say Mars, would you go? Would you be one of the few people that actually go there and fly around it and look at it and come back?
Yeah, I would love to do that. I would.
You would do it. You would just get up and go.
Heck, I would go up and go for sure.
All right.
I mean, I wouldn't mind being able to go out and take a look at other planets myself and see.
Explore.
Yeah, explore and see the wonders of views outside of our planet.
I mean, yeah, dude, because to be honest with you, some of the pictures that I've seen of just like the different galaxies and stuff are just great on their own. So imagine being able to see some of that stuff up close.
Yeah, I know. I wish I was able to go. I wish you could just freeze me and we get to that point to where I could go.
Oh, yeah.
Leave Earth in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah. Be so great.
Yeah.
Like I said, like just seeing the different planets, the different things, possibly seeing different life. Because I'm sorry, with the amount of universes. Wait, isn't it go galaxy then a universe? Isn't that how the scale goes?
I think so.
Yeah, because it's the Milky Way galaxy. Then
There's another galaxy on a collision course with the Milky Way.
Yeah, but we'll be long gone when finally goes to happen and whatnot. But I'm saying, like, out of the whole universe, you have all of these millions, billions, I don't know, galaxies, and you're gonna sit there and tell me that out of all of these, we're the only one that has us life. I'm sorry. The probability of that being the case is just way too low for me.
Well, it's like that planet they seen, right, that you brought up that looks just like Earth. Has oceans, has land mass, everything. There's living life on there. Where you have water, you have life. You have a sun, there's life.
That's what they say, yeah. They say water's the key to life.
And they got a sun there, so.
Well, I don't know how true it was, but there was long ago a picture that a satellite took of a planet, and it was the backside facing away from a sun that it was orbiting, and it had all of these lights reflecting on it. And at first they were trying to say that it was ice crystals reflecting light and stuff, but then people were like, how is it reflecting light if it's on the dark side of the planet? Where it's like the satellite's here, the planet's here, the sun's back here, so it's hitting, this side. This is the dark side, and you got all these lights. Like, because you've seen pictures, like a satellite view of Earth, like when it's dark out, showing where like all the lights are on and stuff in different places when it's night. Like, it was something like that where you could see like the different areas having certain amounts of light coming off.
I've seen that picture.
Yeah, and they were trying to say at first it was ice crystals reflecting light, and people were like, how is it reflecting light if it's on the dark side? Like, that's got to be possible life there on that planet, because there's nothing else around to send off enough light to give a reflection like that.
At the same time, what kind of light do you need to see from space? Because I don't think you could see our lights that clear.
When you have a massive amount, and the amount that we do of the cities and stuff that we do, you actually can, if you think about it. Because think about the whole East Coast.
Yeah, but that picture showed lights, individual lights, and then a cluster of lights and stuff like that. That's from a telescope millions and light years away. I have a hard time believing those are lights for civilization.
I mean, it's possible. Like I said, we don't know. Because the other question is, when people ask, why haven't we maybe encountered other species? What if other species are kind of in the same area we are with technology? What if they know of other planets and stuff exist like what we do? They just don't have the tech yet to get there themselves either. And because we are so far away, radio signals take millions of years, billions of years or whatnot to try to travel out all that way.
And they might not even be as advanced as us in technology. They might not even be bothered with it.
Yeah, or they could just be advanced in different ways to where they're like, we don't want to go out there. We have everything we need right here. We're cool. Like
there's always I would love to disagree with you on that, because I believe there's always going to be a being that looks up in the sky. So I wonder what's out there. And that's going to drive them to try to get there.
Well, like I said, we could have other planets that could have life on it, but might not be evolutionary up to our point. Like, say they could still be in like a Jurassic period of their own or something like that, like, but could still sustain our life of us living there. We just have increased dangers because of the creatures that live there. Like, there could be that scenario.
Sign me up with that. Sign me up.
Oh man,
guys, I'm a big hunter. I want to. Yeah, let's go. I'll go. Freeze me. Send me there. Let me try.
I wouldn't do it for the fact I wouldn't do it fresh. If it was freshly discovered planet, I wouldn't do it because we have no information about it, nothing. But now if it had been studied and stuff like that for a while and we knew different things, then yeah, I would say give me a try because then I could go in there with some knowledge of how the planet works and stuff like that. I'm not going into planet blind like that. That's insane.
I am.
Now, I could bring up one other thing too, which I think you've already played some of the games too. Star Ocean.
I think I started Star Ocean long ago.
Only reason I'm bringing up Star Ocean is because of the storyline it has about the principles of the universe. Because all of the kids that are becoming interplanetary rangers, or how would they call it? Was it rangers or was it space explorers / military officers? Yeah, I think that's exactly what it was. Because they would go into space, and their job was to make sure that all the planets within all of the solar systems was not being tampered with their evolution. If anything was to disturb the evolutionary of that planet, then either that planet would be in trouble of its ability to evolve, or they would evolve too quickly.
No, see, okay. So when you're saying that, I can agree with you on that. If we explore a planet and we find out there's indigenous life there that's not as advanced as us, maybe they're in the Stone Age or something, leave it alone.
That's what I'm saying, because it goes like, in a sense, even though it's a sci-fi fiction show, the prime directive from Star Trek is their job is to explore space, but if they come across a new planet and they see that they are in a certain age of technology and stuff, depending on where they're at, they know, okay, they're here, we can't make contact with them yet. We are way too advanced for these guys. It's too much.
Right.
So they can't interfere with that because they're like, they'll get there eventually, just not right now. But then other planets, if they go and they say, oh, these guys are basically either just a little bit behind us or exactly where we're at, cool, we can actually go talk to them because they ain't gonna be. That could be us, because who's to say that might not have already happened, Billy? Because think about it. From the early 2000s until 2010, we had a massive technology jump with everything. iPhones, between cell phones, music players, computers, video game technology, all of that stuff, just mad jump. Then if you notice it slowed down, what if something like that could have happened to us? What if something interfered with our evolutionary path that we started progressing too fast and someone had to come in and go, whoa, 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 guys, too fast. Let's back it up a little bit. Because if you notice, we're coming out with new stuff, but a lot of it's not like what it was in that like 10 to 12 year span that we had.
We hit the I would like to say we didn't hit our peak, but
it's possible.
It is very possible. Without help from other life forms from somewhere else, we might have hit it. And that might keep us from going to space. I mean, we get a few brilliant minds, but here's the ultimate thing. If we explore space, let's say the United States goes into space. Let's say Russia goes into space. China goes into space. These are the three superpowers in the world.
Mm-hmm.
We get to space. We're able to travel to a planet. Greed ultimately wins over. Willingness to, as United States, I can get to that planet. I'm going to send the Marines. I'm going to send this, and this, along with scientists. We own that planet now. It's all about greed.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to get there. We're going to put our ideology in there. And the United States ideology right now is so this way, and this way.
That's majority of every country's ideology.
But the United States is everywhere with the left, the conservatives, with everything. Right. But we get there. It's going to be under our rule. It's going to be under our leadership. Why?
Well, and that's the other part of space exploration that's going to be difficult to do because what is it? There's an episode on a show called The Orville where a girl finds out about the ship even though she wasn't supposed to, and finds the synthesizer, I think they call it, or replicator, because in those shows they can just replicate stuff. And she's like, why can't I just take this down to my planet? This would save our planet and stuff. And she was like, right now, she's like, your species hasn't gotten past the certain phase. I forget what the one chick said, but basically that greed would take over the synthesizer and people would start charging money and stuff just for simple things. Like, even though like that thing you could type in like, I need a penicillin shot, no money required, no nothing, it would just make it. But because at the time she said of her planet with the greed and stuff, that they'd be like, oh, well, we need $500 for that. It's like, why? You can just literally make it no materials are being used. You just say it. And so who's to say, that, we might have to overcome that hurdle first before even possibly exploring space.
I believe the biggest hurdle is our world coming together.
Yeah, but
until we as a human race comes together, I don't think it's possible. I think something will always be there, or someone will always be there to keep us where we're at. Mm-hmm. We might get to the moon, we might get to Mars, but not in our lifetimes. I don't think.
No.
They say by 2040, 2050 we'll be there.
Oh, I'll be older than the hills of China before then.
We're dead, thank God.
Yeah, we'll definitely be long dead before any of that happens. I mean, we might be lucky enough to be alive to maybe see like
a ship go up.
Yeah, a ship go up, or the existence of like a proper propulsion system, or maybe even a warp drive. Maybe.
That would be the best way to do it. And honestly, I think that if China and Russia and the United States, along with Japan with the technology they have, maybe even some of the rich, deep pockets of Dubai, getting together, they could possibly do it. But
well, like I
again,
said, who's to say that we don't necessarily know what all their governments are doing behind closed doors with stuff like that? Who's to say that they all already are trying to do something like that on their own, or could be working?
I think
together?
It's going to take all the superpowers to do it.
Oh, it's probably definitely going to have to. But the only way I think that'll actually ever happen is when the Earth starts to reach a true point when they understand, like, we're running out of resources here. Like, so we actually. Technically, no. We still have so much different.
Right now, the oil crisis is going on. We're running out.
You know how much landmass is untapped underneath water?
Again, I don't. But, yeah. Exploration, space, Billy. I do believe that we're getting to the point more and more. I think Mars is the limits for us for the foreseeable future.
Mm-hmm.
At least for the time being.
Yeah, it's foreseeable.
Until we start harvesting, until we start doing planetary mining.
Yeah, that scares me.
That's going to be the next.
That scares me.
That's going to be the next big thing.
Oh, that actually will be coming eventually because there is minerals out in space that could actually be used for a lot of better development of equipment and devices for like warp drives possibly. I mean, if they're trying to find a bigger source or use a bigger source of power to to run, and it has to have a sustainable armor to be able to withhold and actually help run the drive properly. The resources in space is the only thing that's going to be able to help sustain it when they go to use it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're going to wonder why they're having issues if they're trying to use some of our minerals and stuff here on Earth. Because
because who knows what other minerals are out there on certain planets or other just chunks of rock and whatnot, because you even got the moons. Like, what is it?
I would never touch the moon.
No, not our moon. I'm saying other planet moons.
I probably wouldn't touch a moon at all. Only because I don't want to throw the way everything rotates.
Well, the thing is, though, if we reach the point of planetary mining like that, the whole planet's going to go anyway, because we're going to literally mine as much as we can of the planet where it doesn't fully destabilize it, and majority and a moon not having a proper core, we're not going to care at that point because...
I just don't want to throw planetary alignment off. But guys, stay tuned for the next video. We're actually going to dive into colonization.
Oh, yeah.
Possibly of the moon or Mars.
Or just everything, or maybe even beyond.
Yeah, it could be. But yeah, guys, stay tuned. Billy brought up a good point for exploration, and I think we're going to dive into colonization as well.
Sounds good. All right, guys, this has been Babbling Buffoons. All babbling, all buffoonery.